Good evening, everyone. It is just gone past 9 o'clock UK time, just gone past 10 o'clock Central European time, and we have just had the final song for Eurovision 2025 released. That is it. We now know, in some capacity, what song will win, or we have heard the winner of Basel 2025. But we're here to talk about France, who, after announcing their artist a few weeks ago, have finally revealed their song. It was Luan, and she's competing with the song Mamon. I will say they left it to last, and they definitely left it for the biggest campus production till last. Because if you didn't watch it, they're currently playing the rugby in the Stade de France, their national stadium, 80,000 seater, home of the Olympics athletics as well in Paris, just gone. And they bring all these drummers on and everything, and it's all a bit, oh, what's all this? And then we wonder, where's Luan? She's on a crane singing about 30 feet in the air. Not a plinth, not quite, thankfully. So you don't have to scratch up your bingo card, but a crane instead, with the song, as we said, Mamon. Now, Luan has been piped as an icon of the music scene in France. She is 28 years old and has been performing and known within France's music scene for the best part of a decade. She was also rumoured to be competing back in October before she flat out denied it before being announced in February, which I think was a slight slip from the broadcaster. But we have literally just heard it no more than 5 minutes ago for the first and only time, realistically. So we're going to jump in and talk about it on first impressions. Phil, Michelle, she was in sequins. We like a woman in sequins. But what do you think of the song?
Well, somebody said that it's a plinth. It wasn't a plinth. It was a raised platform dangling from the sky, which obviously we've seen lots this year. But she wasn't wearing a green leotard. She did have sort of fireworks coming out of it. She was stationary up there, but it looks so dramatic. You're not going to get that at Eurovision. The ceiling's not tall enough. Oh, thank you very much. So they released this. This was the last release of the year, when last year they released the first song of the year, which was in the same year as Eurovision. We lived with it for a long time. And I think they may have learned a lesson from that, because we were all a bit fed up of it by the time we got to Eurovision. Whereas this time, we haven't got much chance to listen to over and over and over and over and over and over to it before we get to Eurovision. It was a brilliant French ballad. This is what France do the best. They churn out ballads that nobody else can do. We'd kill for a ballad like this. She sang it beautifully. Her voice was fantastic. Seeing as she was, I don't know, about 40 foot up in the air with all those people watching as well. That's some statement that she made. I love the orchestration of it as well. I thought it was brilliant. It was really emotive. The score of it was really, really good. I think this is an absolute corker. What did you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, did anyone think the strings holding that platform up were a bit on the thin side? I mean,
they did look a bit see-through.
But yeah, it was definitely a brave move to debut the song live on a big event like that. If she'd had voice issues or anything like that, everyone would have noticed, but she banged it out perfectly.
She didn't even have, when you get disco leg, when you go up a ladder that's too sort of tall and your leg sort of goes. There was absolutely nothing like that. She's made a sturdy stuff, I tell you.
And the French broadcaster wasn't holding back, were they? There was no sort of expense spared, really. There's pyro and everything, marching band. And it sounded fantastic.
Yeah, I can't remember seeing such a dramatic song launch ever.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think France are definitely wanted to win.
They are in it to win it, without a doubt.
Well, strong words there from Phil and Michelle. Mick, we know you love a big ballad, and it is another big female ballad. And as we spoke about the other day, there's now quite a few. How does this rank for you in the big ballad divas of Eurovision this year?
Bonsoir, mes amis. Oh mon Dieu. C'est formidable. Absolutely brilliant. Right up my street. Oh my God. this. Oh God. I'll be like, was it A Fish Called Wonder? And I'll be like, oh my lord, just sing it to me again, Luan. Honestly, oh my lordy lord. I think this is the best one, and I think on the Eurovision stage, the French are gonna do it. You know, I think it's gonna be a bit like Barbara Pravi. I think they're gonna keep it simple, but have an amazing backdrop. She just needs to sing it, and you know, I think she couldn't move very much on that platform, but I'm sure on the stage she might just move around a little bit. But oh God, what a voice, what a performance! Oh dear me, yeah. Come on, France. They haven't won since 1977, and I remember watching it. So we need to go back to France.
I'd love them to win, Mick, because we could just get the ferry from Hull, obviously.
Not to France.
Yeah.
Well, no, we can drive.
We could get Eurostar.
Oh, Jesus, Phil. We just get the ferry.
All right.
And if you had Phil and Michelle mentioning the ferry from Hull on your bingo card, tick it off now. Paul, Andrew, obviously you said you had it on the big screen where you are as well. So far, it's been a full house of praise for Luan. Are you joining them?
I am.
Yes.
I thought it was stunning, absolutely stunning. What a way to introduce a Eurovision act. Seriously, no one, I don't think anyone will ever top that, really, as a way of introducing it. How can she pull it off as extravagantly and big on the Eurovision stage? Now, I know that there's going to be a stadium next door to the arena. Could they perhaps allow her to use that stadium? I don't know whether the rules allow that or not. Probably not.
No, sorry, just put in there, they can't use the stadium next door because it hasn't got a roof.
Yeah, this one didn't have a roof either, did it?
No, but in Eurovision, one of the regulations is the arena has to have a roof on it, so you can't perform.
Perhaps just for her song. I don't know. Maybe
no, because if there's weather, you're stuffed. You've ruined everything. If it's
Fair
raining.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't think it's fair on other acts, is it? We're going to have to use the stage. You don't have to share the same stage, surely.
So really, they're going to have to come up with something to trump that at Eurovision, which is going to be very, very hard. The song was fantastic. I just I love a ballad as well. I'm a sucker for one. Very Barbara Pravi as well. That might not work in her favour because it's just too similar. But yeah, I've listened to some of her other songs, and to be honest, I wasn't really hugely impressed. But this is she's taking it up a step for me, you know, for this one.
I really like the song. I think the one thing that worries me, and I don't know if was the presentation today, it started where they were all drumming and everything as they were all marching on, and then so it was getting quite loud, and then it suddenly went really quiet again. So I don't know, was the drumming bit included in the song or not? So that's the thing that worries me slightly. If it's sort of like built it all up and then drops back down again and then builds it up, I don't think that will work. If it starts off really quietly and then builds, I think that will work much better.
Yeah.
But I thought her voice was amazing. The fact that she was on so much fireworks and pyro and actually managed to still sing the song without sort of like thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Or getting burnt to death.
Yeah. So I thought that was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was a plinth, I guess. You could argue it's a plinth, just suspended plinth. But what a plinth, honestly, seriously.
Plinths have to be on the floor. That's the idea of it, yeah.
Doesn't mean that she's going to be on a plinth at Eurovision.
No.
You know,
But then, it's valid. What can she do? She's got to be walking around or stood still. Probably stood still.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was hanging from the ceiling, to be fair, because we've seen a lot of dangly people this year already. So, yeah. So
they'll have the apparatus ready in case she wants to.
Put her on the magic roundabout.
Put her on Erica's microphone.
It's like L'évidemment.
Oh God, no.
Well, I think it's eye-pitching with my thoughts on the song, and to be blunt, it was a lot of grandeur for a very middling ballad. He sings it beautifully, don't get me wrong, sings it fantastically, but I agree with Donna, there is something missing. It sounds a lot like Praying by Kesha to me. To me, it sounds like your traditional mid-tempo pop song with drums put in. There is something missing to make this a winner or something in that sense for me. She sings it beautifully, don't get me wrong. But that's the thing. I think they went too far with the presentation. And now we're all like, oh my God, look at this. How can she improve it? I don't think she can. I don't know where you go from there. Like, granted, France, you know, you didn't hold back. So how big do you want to reveal your song? Yes. And you know what? Fair play to you. I wish the BBC did something that camp and fabulous, believe me. But I don't think this song matched the grandeur of the presentation. I still think it will do well, partly because it's a competent French ballad sang very well in French. They know that works. The last 2 times they've done that, they've got them a top 5. So stick to what you do well. However, I do think Luan was either given this song or sent this song because they saw everything else that was going on. Because this isn't very in line with what she traditionally does. She's a bit more mid-tempo pop, and she's done quite a few poppy songs as well. So when it came out just doing a very stripped-back French ballad, I was quite surprised. So I think they've purposely been tactical and gone, everyone's going a bit loopy. We need to do the opposite. And that will probably work in their favour in the final. It will. However, my worry is the French broadcaster cannot stage a song to save their life. I mean, we look at Lazara. Great song, awful staging. Emia was a favourite to win. Terrible stage show in 2016. Madame Monsieur, beautiful song. That staging was awful. The French delegation don't know how to present a song on the Eurovision stage. I can't remember the last time I actually enjoyed a French staging song. I can't remember what they did. Oh, yes, Slimane. That was okay, but he just looked like he rocked up from, a nap and then put a jacket on because he was like, in a vest. And they don't know how to stage a song. And that's my concern. And a lot of people won't see this before, but still see what's going to happen in 2 months' time. So
I think we might be all right with the staging, though, because they seem to have gone all out today. So whoever's done that, if they have them doing the Eurovision staging, because obviously they've spent money on this, so they're here to win. So I think the staging, we might be all right with it.
And I do disagree slightly, Elliot, because Barbara Pravi's song was beautifully staged, but it was very simple. And I think that's the problem. Sometimes actually having a stripped back staging means that you stand out because it's like Duncan Lawrence. He says his gimmick was the fact that he didn't have a gimmick almost, but that then was his gimmick. The fact that it's just stripped back. So it just looks like it's the song. And you've got so many crazy songs that are probably all going to get into the final because of the fact it's the jury votes. That will actually make this stand out, especially if it's put in between Estonia and Australia, if they both get in, and then you get France in the middle. That will just make it look so much more classy.
The thing is, though, and long-time viewers will know this of me, I did not like Voila or the presentation of that song one bit. All that was missing from her was a beret and a bulb of garlic on her neck. They went too far. It was so French to the point it hurts.
So wrong.
But I get your point. It will stand out because it will look clean and polished. And I do think Luan, all she needs to do is just stand and let staging work around her. Because, again, that's such a vocal performance. You don't want her to do anything where her voice is at jeopardy. You won't want to risk it. And, Michelle's right. France want to win. They have been sending very quality singers and very good songs last year. It's like, Slimane was their biggest artist last year. Luan, again, is a huge artist in France. They are picking big names to represent them because they want to win. They are desperate to win the contest. And we've seen in junior, they're a powerhouse and they can, host a junior very, very well. They can host very well. So they want to do it for the proper contest. Is this the song to do it? I do not know, but we'll find out in 2 months' time. But it is time for my favourite part, and I think Michelle's favourite part is time. Well, prediction time, where we cut this and we hold it against you for the rest of time. And who are we going to go to first? I think we should let Mick go first because he seemed to I've had a long day at work, can you tell? He shed the most love on Luan, so I think he should start it.
I think it's going to be top 5.
But do you see this beating JJ from Austria?
Oh.
Because that was your other big love so far.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Damn you, Elliot.
I remember these things.
No, I think it'll come behind that.
Okay, I will go next. I see this landing around. I'm gonna go with Michelle's favorite number. I'm gonna go with 7th. I think in the jury it will do fantastic, probably 3rd or 4th. I think the televote, it has a real risk of being loved by a certain amount, but not enough. I still think it could get forgotten by the masses. I still think it could do like Lazara and get 50 or 60 televote points, but a huge jury score, which will then knock it down. Very much like Shemakas. I see that sort of thing for it. So I think it will land around 7th, which is still a good result for France, but I know it's not the result they want. And judging by this, it's like, yeah, we want to win. We've done this on purpose. We waited to the end on purpose and done all this on purpose. But I'm saying 7th about that, unfortunately. Well, Andrew, where are you going? Stake your claim.
You guys.
I think it's between Austria and France who's going to win the jury vote. I will say that up front. I think it's those two are by far the best songs musically. It's who connects with the public. But I will say France top 3.
No, we want a number.
3, 3rd.
You've already had a 3rd. Because we've done this before when you said, yeah, and you did
Yeah, I
that.
said Netherlands 3rd, so yeah.
I'm going 5.
Only
Again, I
Michelle
think
could have 5
it's
places.
not going to be as good as Austria. Juries will love it. I think the public will like it too. Actually, I really do. Like they did, I think it will do.
The Portuguese song
Yeah,
that won.
it's not. Well, no, I don't think that, because that was very different. It was very, very different, and so people voted for that because of its sort of difference. But this is very similar to Barbara Pravi and others, but I'd still think it will come, and I'm going to say 5th.
You
Okay,
pessimist.
and to round this out, Phil, Michelle, where can you see Luan and Mamon finishing?
You can't go 7th.
Now,
Yes.
we're
Phil
only
can.
at 2 seconds.
Michelle can't.
I'm going to agree with Paul and go 5th. I think 5th.
This is I think this is the 2nd highest one. Oh no, it's the 3rd highest one. It's going to go 4th. I'm going to leave 3rd spot open just so that I can have a good listen to everything again and make sure. But I think I'm going 4.
Okay, so we've all placed it inside the top 10, which sounds promising for Luan and France. And looking at the comments, I can see everyone's saying, top 3 to 5, top 10 over the jury. The only one who hasn't is Donna saying, I would place this just outside top 10 if the staging is mediocre. So this does sound like a song that will live and die by the stage presentation. So we'll have to wait and see. But
I don't think they're going to make the same mistake with the staging. They've learned their lesson. They're going to have to come up with something spectacular with it.
They will.
I would say that if they had, I would have more faith if they hadn't buggered up 8 of the last 10 years. I'm a cynic.
I think for a song like this, it will have to be in the draw in the second half, maybe in the last 5 songs where people can still remember it when they're voting.
Ooh, yeah. 4th has gone down to 4. Up to 4.
So it has dropped in the odds. But that the odds are just numbers and spreadsheets until we get to the competition. There's always one that changes, and who knows? We never know. But that is all 37 songs of Eurovision 2025 done and dusted. Michelle, you can have a well-deserved lie down now.
I've never drank so much gin.
Are you sure? But thank you everybody who's joined us this late on for us to discuss Luan and Mamon. Keep an eye. We will still be doing some content between now and Basel, because don't forget, our ESC Fan TV awards are coming back this year. And just as a little hint, for everyone who's watching as part of the panel, the nomination on the groups will be getting sent out on Monday. So get your ideas ready for who you want to nominate for these categories, because that will be released on Monday.
I thought I was having a week off.
No, I'm looking after this. It's fine. This is my.
Oh, that's fine then. You knock yourself out. Of it.
I'm leading it this year, so that's what I've decided.
All right, yeah,
Love it.
You could just have a nap. I'll do all that boring stuff. It's fine. But that is all we've got for now. First, as I said, we will be here, there, and everywhere, and we now enjoy a bit of a break for the most part as we get ready for Basel and wait for all our predictions to go horribly wrong or be horribly smug about it. Right. I can already tell Michelle's getting her smug face ready. I can just sense it. But thank you all for joining us, not just tonight, but through this Eurovision season. As you said, keep joining us for the next 2 months. We've got a lot planned, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But it's only as fun with you guys are here. So thank you very much. We'll see you next time. But until then, bye-bye for now.
Bye.